Well, my subject is ministry self-care. And I thought I'd record a little video for you while I'm out here taking care of myself, doing what I like, what brings me joy, and that's out getting in nature and doing some hiking. While I'm out here, before I reach the top of the mountain, I thought I want to just tell you a little story. It's going to sound strange, but I was at the gym a couple of months ago, probably 5-6 months ago now, and I know this is going to sound strange, but there I was on the treadmill just doing my work and trying to get some exercise in, and I overheard these two guys next to me on their treadmills talking about a new bakery in town. And strange, right? At the gym, I hear about this bakery, and these guys are bragging on the donuts and talking about what great donuts this guy makes at the bakery, and so I decided I would check it out, and sure enough, I went to this little bakery, just a little hole in the wall place, and got some donuts there, and I'm telling you, they are the best donuts I have ever had. Absolutely the best donuts. I've had donuts all over the place. These are the best donuts I've ever had. He makes other stuff there at the bakery as well, this baker. And I couldn't believe I'd never heard of the place before. But he makes bread. The bread is to die for. It's like manna from heaven. It's just tremendous. And he makes cakes and pastries and other special items. Most important, the best thing there is he makes these cinnamon rolls that are just tremendous. Cream cheese, frosting on the top, they are so good. I couldn't believe I'd never heard of this bakery before. Well, now it's a part of my daily routine. I go to the gym and then I go to the bakery. I like to just sit there and watch this baker work. He's just flying all around the bakery doing all kinds of stuff. He's got a real knack for pleasing all the customers. He does all kinds of special orders. He pleases everybody. Now, those of you that know me know I don't drink coffee. I don't like coffee. I almost started drinking coffee just so I could stay there and sip my coffee a while and kind of watch what he's doing there at the bakery. He seems to be there all hours of the day. I went by at 3 o'clock in the morning one time, and the lights were on. He was there working. Every time I go by the bakery, he's there working. I asked him one time, you know, when he gets in, what time he gets in, what his hours were, and he told me he never leaves. He said, I've got this little cot in the back office that I catch a little sleep from time to time, but pretty much I'm baking all the time. I'm serving customers all the time, and I thought to myself, this guy is really committed to his job. You know, in Waterbury, where I live, there's been an increase in homelessness. Right where the bridges from Route 84 and Route 8 kind of converge and come into town. Underneath those bridges, there's this homeless camp, and there's all kinds of tents set up there, and just all kinds of homeless people. And the baker heard about it, and so he decided he wanted to do something about it. And after the morning rush, when it's not as busy as it normally is, he starts making bread, and he takes this bread, this extra bread he makes, and he's bringing it down to the homeless camps and the soup kitchens, people that are in need. And I thought, you know, that was so commendable of him, but I told him, you know, don't you dare bring those cinnamon rolls down to the homeless camp, because there'll be a stampede. They'll trample you. Those things are good. But anyway, this guy, it seems like he's single-handedly taking on the homeless crisis in town. And because of his work there in the homeless camps, the bakery's gotten even more publicity, and it's gotten even busier there at the bakery. And this guy, he works by himself. He's doing everything around the bakery, and he's just flying around the bakery all day long. I don't know when he sleeps. I don't know when he gets any rest. Every time I go in there, this guy is working. Well, I guess he needed some help there at the bakery, and so he hired a couple of people, but they never seemed to last. He hired another group of people, and this last group didn't work either. And I ran into the last lady that worked there with the baker, and I asked her, why didn't it work out? You seem to enjoy yourself there at the bakery, and it seems like a good place to work. It's busy. There's lots going on there. He's doing a great job. And she said, well, the baker never let me do anything. I liked the baker. I enjoyed being with the baker. I enjoyed the atmosphere, but he never let me do anything. He always had to do it himself, and he didn't have enough time to really train us, and he didn't have enough patience to train us to do it right. So he said, just let me do it myself. And so everybody the baker hires, they seem to just move on pretty quickly. Well, this has been enough of a break. I'll never get to the top if I don't keep going. So when I get to the top, I'll tell you a little more about this story. Oh. Well, I made it, but I got some bad news. I got word last week, unfortunately, the baker died. Came as a big shock, a big surprise to the whole community. They found his body at one of the homeless camps where he was bringing bread. At first they thought, maybe it was the homeless that did something to him. And the police, they even brought some of the homeless people in for questioning. You know how the police love their donuts, and they were kind of upset that they weren't going to get those donuts anymore. But they determined the homeless didn't have anything to do with the baker's death. After the autopsy, they found out actually that the baker had starved to death. He had more food around him than anybody else, that baker. I thought to myself, how in the world could he have starved to death? Well, the simple fact was, he wasn't eating. He wasn't taking care of himself. He wasn't getting rest. When I talked to him before about when he ever left the bakery, he told me he never left the bakery. He was there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week he was there, and he just got sleep when he could. And sometimes he said he slept just about 2 or 3 hours a night, and that was it. And so it's no wonder he died, but it's just such a shame because he died with so much food around him. Well, that's the story of the starving baker. But I wonder how many preachers how many teachers, how many Christian workers, how many even saints in the church starve to death spiritually because they don't take time to eat. You know, they're so busy trying to help everybody else and feed everybody else and take care of everyone else's needs that they never stop to take care of themselves spiritually and physically. We have the Word of God, fresh bread from heaven every single day that we can dig into and get nourishment from and sustain ourselves, spiritually speaking and physically. We can take the time to rest. The baker died because he wasn't getting rest. He didn't have a period of rest in his calendar. He died because he wasn't getting good sleep. He didn't have good sleep patterns, and he died because he wasn't eating. Let that not be said about us Christian workers who are trying to spread the gospel around the world. We must take care of ourselves.